All right, welcome back to the Triple Option presented by the Wendy's. And right now we're going to take a look at Coach of the Year resumes brought to you by our great partner, ZipRecruiter. Try ZipRecruiter for free, ziprecruiter.com/option. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. So we're going to look at some Coach of the Year resumes. Last year, it was won by your new head coach right now, Mark Kalen DeBoer, when he was with Washington. In 22, those Horned Frogs, Sonny Dykes down there at TCU, and Jim Harbaugh in 21. Let's hear some of the candidates right now. And Coach, let's start with Curt Cignetti, because I think we all agree he's at the top of the list, or certainly really, really close to it.
Yeah, Curt Cignetti, a lot's been said, and I probably got a little bit more insight just because the way I watch film. I've done it for 37 years, and there's things that I might notice that maybe, Mark probably does as well, but I see things that most people don't see, and I think there's a fine line between recruiting and coaching. They're both what it takes to be successful, but I always tell people the guy that makes the one-handed catch over the top of two people in the end zone, that's God touched him and said, let's make a great player. But the perimeter blocking, the goal line stand when when everybody's in the proper gaps, there are just so many things that I see Indiana do that. And how about this? I'm going to talk about this because they're playing each other. But who'd have thought 365 removed from the worst team in the Big Ten? They're playing the best team in the Big Ten a year ago, and they're a 14.5 favorite. Who'd have thought? I'll tell you what, if someone would have, if Bear Bites would have thrown a couple bucks on that one, Mark, he'd be flying private to Big News.
Eating.
I mean, think about that. So Curt Cignetti is
He's not missing any meals. He's all right. He's still eating.
Curt Cignetti's obviously a candidate, and I unless something changes, he gets.
I don't know how it can change.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what he's done already with that record and in position to get into Columbus in a couple weeks, unbeaten for a shot at the Big Ten championship game. My goodness. You got one more though. I like this next one too. This is a good one.
Jeff Monken. Jeff and I've known each other a long time. I went to speak to his team. I've known him for a long time. And you talk about coaching. There's not one player on that Army team that, probably got many scholarship offers to play Division I football. When you see their lineman, Mark, I mean, I swear they're 5'10", 5'11". I mean, they're rugged, tough guys that play together.
There are a bunch of Mark Ingrams on the line. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
if they had that, they know I'd be clawing and scratching and biting. You can't measure what's in here. You can't measure what's in here,
coachable cats, though, Urban, right? Coachable dudes, for sure.
I mean, coachable, and now you got it. I mean, they don't stop. I've coached against Army, Navy, Air Force, and they do not stop. And I always tell people it's a nightmare playing in a service academy. It's even double nightmare when they're an undefeated service academy, and that's what you got with Monken and the Army.
All right, Coach, you got two guys. Mark, you're also bringing two into the conversation as well?
Yeah, since it's two for Coach and two for me, might as well make it the deuce. You know what I mean? It's only right for the two. But, man, we got to show love to Mario Cristobal down there. Got Miami 9-0 for the second time in 22 years. They're looking to win their first ever AC championship. You gave us that saucy nugget a while ago, Stoner.
That's hard to believe.
They have never won an AC championship? Like, are you serious here? Like,
pretty crazy.
He has them balling, man. And you talk about those tough victories they had for a 3-week stretch versus Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville. You easily drop one of those games, you're out the conversation, and he was able to rally his team to come back on the road at Cal, come back on the road against Louisville. They were able to win those games. And this is a team, they have a favorable schedule moving out. They're looking like they'll be on a collision course with whoever in the ACC championship, maybe Clemson. We'll see. But Mario Cristobal has done an amazing job. They were 3-5 in conference play last year, 7-6 overall. So they've already beat their win season total from last year, and they're undefeated, have probably the number one guy for the Heisman right now in Cam Ward. So I think he's just done an unbelievable job down there in South Florida about 45
I think the knock, though,
road.
Mark, I agree with you, but I think the knock might be like he should have gotten this program there a little bit quicker, right? I think that's maybe why people are a little hesitant. Hey, at least he got him there, right?
Hey, he's there right now. And, and it's not about the coach of the past year or the past 2 years. It's about the coach of this year. And this year they're undefeated.
All right.
And have their control their own destiny to a playoff berth. So
giddy up.
I hear you, Coach. I hear you, Stoner. But The man is doing it right now.
Okay.
The man's
All
doing
right.
it right now.
Give
Then
me
you
one
talk
more.
about
Take me out
Then you
west.
talk about the fighting Cougs out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kalani Sitake. This was a team who lost 5 in a row to end their season last year. They come back. They're picked to finish last in the Big 12 this year, and all they do is come out and ball. They come out every single week. They ball. They play tough defense. They play solid on offense. The offense is getting better and better. They're getting healthy. They got their backs. They got their receivers. They play special teams. That's all coaching. When you got 3 phases all playing complementary football, that is a tremendous coaching job. You know that, Coach Meyer. If you ain't a good coach, you ain't gonna have a good special teams unit. A good coach,
right.
a great coach, has a good special teams unit, a strong defense, a good offense that all come together and play complementary football. So he's done an amazing job at BYU. They're 8-0. They got the Holy War against your Utes coming up, ain't it right, Coach?
Yeah,
Big.
we're going to talk about that one in a second.
Big.
So those are
Great
my
rivalry.
2 guys I got leading the candidacy for
All right,
Coach of the Year.
Just so you remember, the conversation was to pick one guy, and then you guys went rogue and picked 2. I'm staying by the rules here, and I got one. I'm a front runner. I'm going Dan Lanning. What he's done at Oregon with the expectations.
Should you have said he's got them there?
He got them there immediately, man. ASAP. A couple little offensive line struggles, in those opening weeks, and he sorted that out. Things I look for in a coach, and you guys might look at different cats, but I'm looking at recruiters. I'm looking for motivators, winners, and thinkers. All right. So Dan Lanning, 31-5 overall, 9-0 this season, number 1 in the AP poll. That's winning, right? Recruiting, 3 straight top 10 recruiting classes. They have the number 1 class right now for 2026. So he's got that. We talk about motivating, his words, right? All we have to do is go back to pregame last year against Colorado, and they're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. Like, I can just tell that dudes get in that locker room and he's able to instantaneously rally his troops. And then as far as thinking, all right, this dude literally forced a midseason rule change because he found a timing loophole in that victory over Ohio State. I think Dan Lanning's the complete package. But if I had a vote, it's going up to Bloomington. I think we all kind of agree with what the Hoosiers have been
Great
able to do.
candidates, though, man. Great choice.
A tremendous year for coaching. I agree with you.